but he's so rigid. Like, that's my biggest issue with him is that he is so rigid, and I would like to see him loosen up a little.
Yeah, he
just
gets
a
in
little,
his way.
just a little.
Like,
and I'm criticizing someone who's good, who I believe can adapt.
But you know what I want my offensive coordinator?
Huh?
I want a guy who's in attack mode. I want a guy who's saying, you know what? I'm going to score every damn possession. And where I'm getting at here, and I keep going back to this, because the Niners have been in a lot of big games.
Mm-hmm.
Let's face it. They've been in 2 of the last 3 NFC championship games. This team is one of the powers in the NFC. They are. They might not win the West this year, but they've shown they can go anywhere and beat anybody. NFC East champ Dallas, we'll go to Dallas and beat them. Go to Lambeau Field. It's 0 degrees. We're not going to score an offensive touchdown. We're still going to come out with a dub, right? They should have beat the Rams in the NFC Championship game. This team could beat anybody. So I hold this team to a high standard now, especially with Jimmy Garoppolo back in the lineup. Now I'm saying, you know what? The Niners have to be playing for big stakes this year. Now, with that said, I think about the big games, and I think about the certain situations and being in attack mode. I think about the 4th and 2 down in L.A. where he punts it away, and he's on the other side of the Rams 50. He's on the other side of the 50. Damn, we can't go for it right there. Defense is playing great. Defense is playing great. It's an NFC Championship game. I think about the Super Bowl all the time. Super Bowl 54. I can't unsee it, Shasky.
You know what
I can't unsee John Lynch in his suite saying, call timeout against the Kansas City Chiefs. What kind of offensive coordinator says, you know what? We're going to let the clock run. We're not going to use our timeouts, and we're going to play it safe. Shanahan was hired because he's always in attack mode.
Well, that's what he did in the Super Bowl with Atlanta.
And people blame him for that.
I'll still defend him for that one.
The Super Bowl's not on Kyle Shanahan.
No, I agree.
I'll defend him to the Blues. But you can hear what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
You hear what I'm saying?
He
plays it safe in the second half, and you're supposed to be this offensive guy. Like Sean McVay is going for it. I watched Zach Taylor with the Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl go for it on the first possession of the game.
Agreed. McVay also got held to 3 points in the Super Bowl by Belichick. So in the big games,
defensive coordinator ever.
Agreed. I'm just saying, in the big games, the other team gets paid too as well.
No doubt.
You're not playing the Texans
but
or
he
the
at
Jags.
least is going for it.
No, I'm with you on that.
You know what I'm saying?
But I would say this: the final drives in both, well, essentially the final drives, the momentous drives that they had in the Super Bowl and in the NFC Championship game were completely defaulted by horrific interior line play. Chris Jones and Aaron Donald dominated on the final couple possessions of both years.
Yeah, but you know what?
I'm just saying.
But you know what, though?
He had plays dialed up that were open.
He had plays dialed up, but he also didn't give Mostert the ball in the first quarter.
Hey, look,
he also played it safe in a lot of situations.
What I'm getting at is that I do, like, we have to give credit to just phenomenal individual playmakers who make plays.
We do, but
Chris Jones was ridiculous at the end of that game.
Well, now finally you agree with me on that, huh? You finally agree with me on that 2 years later.
And Aaron Donald.
It's funny how you flipped.
Donald dominated.
It's funny how you're flipping on me now.
I told you it was a team-wide meltdown. Did I not say the pie chart of culpability?
Chris Jones did dominate. It's
never one player. It's never one play. It's a combination of things that happen throughout the totality of a game. Right. And yes, there are some plays that are a little bigger than others, but we can't just like when the Niners lost with the Crabtree throw, for Kaepernick. They didn't lose because of that throw.
No,
all right, they lost on a variety of reasons. And it's the same thing for Shanahan.
No
when
doubt.
He loses, it's not just a Shanahan call. It's a variety of reasons.
But think about all these games that they're in. You think about how conservative he gets, whether it's at the start of the game or whether it's at the end of the game. It's never a full game. It's always an imbalance in their offense. They'll maybe get hot for a first half, or they'll get hot for the second and third quarter. But then they take the foot off the gas pedal.
I watched back the Dallas playoff game, and look, the playoffs are different. They're great teams that you're going up against. They were up 23-7.
Oh, I was there. They should have been up 35-7.
23-7. Now, again, the quarterback made some really bad throws in that game.
Bad throws.
He had like 4 interceptable passes.
They settled for 3 field goals in that first half, and they left the game right there on the platter for the Dallas Cowboys to steal.
So that's where, I guess, even whether you've made a determination on the quarterback or the coach, sitting back, this is why I wanted to see what he could do with Trey Lance, because I didn't know, is that just Jimmy not playing as good as he should? Is that the coach not making the right calls? A combination of the two of them? I don't know. I was hoping that I would get some clarity to be able to look back on the perspective of this is what he's done with Trey Lance. Maybe it was a little on Jimmy. Or, Trey Lance actually bombed and Jimmy was the one who was actually really good and Kyle's not so, or somewhere in between. I'll never get that answer right now.
No. Let's go to EJ in Daly City. EJ, what's happening? You're on the roast. Listening via the Transistor Radio. What's up, EJ?
What's up, guys? I love the show, man. Keep it going.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. It means a lot.
As you guys said, Kyle, he gets in his own way, man. I feel his ego is what causes the like collapse of the game basically, because he scripts like the game for like I guess the first half, right? You notice we control the game like the first half, and then there's a sudden collapse in the second half of the game. Like for example, against Dallas, we almost freaking lost the game. There's been multiple occasions where he would just like punt the ball on 4th and 1,
Yeah.
but then he would you know what I mean? Like,
Right. Or he'll run, or you know what he does, EJ?
Yeah.
You know what he does, EJ? I'll let you finish. Or he'll line up in shotgun on 4th and 1 and run the stupid gun run. Or the little RPO with a quarterback.
Let's go
who can't
back
run.
3 yards.
Yeah,
I hate
exactly.
that play.
I hate that play. Go ahead, EJ.
I know, but like for someone that's proclaimed as an offensive guru and offensive mastermind, to me he hasn't adapted like Andy Reid. Like he's not letting his QBs make plays, and to me he just wants all the glory.
I don't think that's fair. But I don't think that's fair.
It's not fair.
I don't think that's fair to say.
But it does seem like he has to have total control of the offense. You have to do it
he's
this
a
way,
control
hit the
maniac.
highway. This is why I always stop.
I'm married to one.
This is why.
All right, I know.
Oh, well, you should.
Takes one to know
don't
one.
say that about Michelle.
And you know
Go
what?
there.
She's usually right.
No, I'm not going to go.
I hope you're listening, hon.
She's probably
Love
not.
you.
She's probably going to get somebody a snitch on you for saying that. It runs in the family.
Hey, real
It runs
quick,
in the family.
10
Snitch
seconds.
Shasky.
I got aired out for not bringing beers back to the Giants game. I was with Loveman, and she was like, "You didn't bring me back a beer." I was like, "Can I sit?" She just gave me the look,
boy.
and I was like, "You know what? You're right. I'm gonna go get those beers."
You stay getting in trouble.
Yeah.
You just don't learn. You just don't learn.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, Spinoti, dump all that. Dump that.
But no, I
I
understand.
have a wife.
Look,
But
when
this is
you're
why
the
I never
architect,
thought-
I get why you would want to have control.
Right, but this is why I never thought Brady would work with Shanahan. Because of what we're talking about today. I never thought that was going to work.
I don't think that he's such an egomaniac, though. Like, that to me feels so egregious that he's such an egomaniac
I don't
that
know,
he
man.
wouldn't allow someone else to have a little shine.
Matt Ryan and Shanahan butted heads a lot.
I know, but
that
when you
first
win,
year.
everyone gets love.
Yeah.
Like, we're looking at the Warriors right now, B. They just won their 4th ring. Is everybody getting love?
Except for James Wiseman.
Is everyone getting love?
Yeah, for the most part. You brought up Deebo Samuel. You wanted to see him use like Kamara and McCaffrey. He may not be
I'm
as
just
quick
saying,
as-
like,
I hear what you're saying.
I'm not saying that they're the same players.
Yeah, I understand exactly what you're
You-
saying.
you get what
But
I'm saying.
If you use them like that, then I'm saying to myself, so now Brandon Ayuk's my one receiver
Well,
that I trust.
look,
Maybe Jawan Jennings could be that second
it's
receiver.
not a knock on
Right.
Debo for
It's
me
not.
to say that
It's
I
not-
think he's
it's not a
best
knock.
utilized as a
to
running
me-
back who can catch.
To me, it's a knock on roster construction.
Well, and paying a guy $25
Right.
million at that position because there's roster valuations.
So here, Shanahan was asked if Debo could be used more in the offense.
I think Debo's been involved a ton in the first 2 weeks.
Agreed.
I don't know how many carries or passes it's been, but he's been involved a lot. We don't see the way it ended last year. We don't see that quite soon, but you never know. Got to always balance it out and see how to best attack the defense to win on Sunday.
By the way, this is a great thing, and that's Shanahan yesterday at his weekly presser. He did announce too that Trey Lance is out for the year, so there's no way he's coming back this season. He's out for the season with a broken ankle. 925 Comcast Business Text Line. Arians is a quarterback coach loved by all. He had
Hey,
issues with Brady. Did you see
that's
Bruce
facts.
Arians? Did you see Bruce Arians on the sideline? Is in New Orleans. He got warned. Hey, shut your yapper.
Why is he on the sidelines?
I love Bruce Arians, man. I love Bruce Arians. I do, man. This dude's wild. You talk about empowering players and coaches. I mean,
Brady fired him.
he's on the sideline getting into it. Marcus Lattimore.
I know, and he
How
got
sick
fired.
is that?
He got fired.
So I don't know how Shanahan and Brady would have got along. Let's go to Joe in San Jose. Joe, what's happening? He's listening via the Odyssey app.
What's
he has
up,
some
Joe?
thoughts about Kyle Shanahan. What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's going on? And Butcher, happy wife, happy life.
I'm with you.
Yeah, he's tripping.
Hey.
He better dump some
Love
stuff,
you, hon.
Salody.
Let's keep it real though. Look at McDaniels over there in Miami. He's embracing his team and he's giving them the love that they need and this and that. And I really believe that this guy gets it. And Shanahan doesn't give two hoots about these guys. If you're not doing your job, beat it. What's wrong with you? All right, now you're gonna do it my way, but you have to have the talent to do it your way. You can say you want, Dan Marino, John Elway, Joe Montana as quarterback, but if the guy that you can't force it, if it's not there, it's not there.
Joe, well, let me push back on this, Joe, because if that were the case, why is Richard Sherman on his podcast throwing all the flowers at Shanahan? Why do all the players in the locker room throw all the flowers at Shanahan? Not that he's not perfect. No one's here saying he's perfect.
Right.
But like, and again, they might have gripes here and there, but overall, it feels like these guys swear by him.
They do love him.
Am I wrong?
They do love him. They do love him. Now, we were talking about the playbook. Joe, go ahead and finish. I didn't know Joe was on the line. Joe, go ahead and finish your call.
That's the boss. You're gonna say yes to the boss. You're not gonna say no, because if you don't, you're gonna be on the blacklist. I mean, come on, everyone's gonna, I'm getting my PT, I'm getting my playing time, so I love this dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get that big check, and then I'm gonna be cool. So, I mean, of course you're gonna love him, but if you weren't getting your money, you wouldn't like this cat.
Yeah.
I mean,
is he too much of a micromanager?
Yeah, I see this from the 707 Comcast Business text line. It does feel like that. It does feel like that. Now, it was interesting. We're just talking about the playbook and whether or not to open it up. He was asked yesterday, Kyle Shanahan, that is, about the playbook. Will it change? Will it be different? Here's what Shanahan said about
Playbook.
I mean, we put all the same stuff in last year, too. So it's not as big of a difference as people think. You're running really the exact same runs. Just, do you want to get in pistol and read someone, or do you want to hand it off and not read them? So it doesn't change it as much as people think.
So this is why I thought everything was overblown about Jimmy Garoppolo. He didn't have a playbook, and he went out there and played. It's the same damn play since 2017. Like, come on. This guy's been in the league. Jimmy Garoppolo's been in the league for 2014. This whole playbook thing was so overrated. It's the same damn plays, except
or
Trey,
concepts are the same.
A lot of concepts. Plays are basically the same.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, Bill Walsh was famous for running the exact same play out of various formations.
Yeah, exactly. You switch up the formations, run the same play. You give them a different
flip it
look.
to the other side or whatever.
Exactly. We do it on Madden all the time.
Yeah.
They do it in real life.
But
same thing.
Exactly. So, but I do believe that, again, this goes back to, has the offense evolved? I was hoping we'd see more layers.
I don't know. We didn't see more layers in the first 5 quarters of Trey Lance. I thought we would.
But if they run the ball the way it's going to be hard to run it the way they did against Seattle, because you had a couple of big chunk plays. Mm-hmm. But if you can run it at least at a similar clip, if you take out the 51-yarder from Debo, 4 or 5 yards a carry, that's ridiculous. So, I'll take that every week. You're going to win.
So here's what Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback of the 49ers, said yesterday with Damon and Ratto about the playbook and whether or not they were going to get to open it up with Trey Lance at quarterback.
He may have been on that pace to be, more than all these guys in history, but I don't think that was going to continue. I think maybe that eventually was going to set up a lot of things for our offense. So it's just like anything, when you're trying to set up play action, you're running the ball a lot downhill. I'm leading up on linebackers. We're not going to continue to do that forever. Eventually, we're going to build things off of that. And I think that's what we were doing with Trey.
All right. And then he added this about having Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback.
It's obviously a little bit different than what we've been doing the past couple weeks or the past couple months, just because it's a different guy in there at quarterback. But at the same time, it's so much of the same because, we're going on the 6th year that Jimmy's been here and been our quarterback. And, yeah, I know there's been, injuries and guys that have come in, but that's a long time. And you build a lot of familiarity over that time. And so a lot of that is just natural when you get back out there that, like, okay, I'm used to this. I remember this. And it just starts flowing again.
So the first clip, he basically said eventually they were going to get into the special stuff with Trey Lance. Now, a lot of people will push back and say, why do we have to wait so long? Why couldn't we see glimpses against Seattle?
The sample size just wasn't big enough.
Sample size
but I will go down. Look at again. Everybody's kind of like hyper focused on just him running between the tackles on the one play. In totality,
he ran a lot.
He was getting hit too much, and he was running too much, and getting tagged. Period.
Exactly. And so we wanted to see him opened up like RG3 that first game against the Saints. They were throwing the ball down the field, big chunk plays, everything. I wanted to see something like that. We're going to get into, we got some Mike McDaniel sound on the other side that we want to play because a lot of people are making a comparison. Let's take a couple more calls before the break. Zach and Martinez listening via the Transistor Radio. What's up, Zach? What's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, guys. Big fan.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Thank you.
I wanted to kind of roll it back. You guys were touching base about, Shasky said Tom Brady ran Bruce Arians out of Tampa. I think that the quarterback-coach relationship in Tampa was actually really strong. I think that if you look at Bruce Arians historically, he's always been a huge proponent of upgrading African-American coaches to a higher level, whether it be
and Zach, and female coaches. He had a couple female coaches down there, too, in Tampa.
That's right. And so, I think that the whole plan was either going to be Todd Bowles or Byron Leftwich who are going to take the reins. And I think that, the relationship there is still going to be whatever Tom Brady wants, Tom Brady's going to get. But, talking about how it kind of relates to Trey Lance and a relationship with the coach and the system, I agree with what Shasky just said. I don't think that the best way to breed excellence in a young quarterback is, drawing up 10 to 12 run plays a game. I think it more has to do with, get him settled, get some, quick passes to the tight end, get some check down, get him comfortable in the pocket so then he can progress throughout the game and open up the playbook more.
And maybe it's a great point.
Good call.
And maybe it had something to do with George Kittle not being in the lineup.
You know what Harbaugh used to start off a game with? It was the little fake play action to the left, roll Alex out to the right, a little dump off to Bruce Miller. I know he's a horrible human being, but dump it off to Bruce Miller for a little 3-yard gain. He'd run somebody over. It set the tone. We're going to run through you. It got Alex feeling comfortable. Hey, the ball didn't hit the ground. I just a little dump off to somebody, and it just got his legs moving and everybody churning. I love those kind of offenses.
I do,
where
too.
you just, let's start off with a nice, simple, easy throw, and then as it progressed and it came into Kaepernick, it felt like Greg Roman was like, no, we're going to drop back 7 steps, and I want you to complete a 28-yarder before you've even warmed up.
Maybe it has something to do with George Kittle not being in the lineup. Maybe.